Today's the day. Get up. Shut off there. Hey, look at that. I told you. Perfect. Perfect apple. Anyways, I wanted to talk about a couple things that are going on. I wanted to talk about the pumpkin training, some things that I've learned from it. I wanted to talk about kind of my current motivation, and some things that I've just noticed. Anyways, so as you guys probably know, if you follow this channel, I'm always changing my training. I'm always trying to do something different. When I was younger, I did a whole lot of well, I've always done a whole lot of experimentation with my training. I'd say probably when I was like my very, very best, somewhere probably between the ages of 30 and 35, I was probably working off of, like, I forget exactly, but I think it was basically a 5-day split or something like that, where I was hitting a lot of different intensities on different days. And throughout the course of 5 days, I was doing things like hitting 1-rep maxes, doing multiple sets, doing kind of high intensity training work. I had everything built into this program. And as I've aged, I've gotten longer and longer with my blocks. So what that means is I will just really focus on a very, very small thing. And I've had a lot of really good success with it, and I feel like I've gotten to really understand what the benefits and fallbacks are of these different systems. So for example, I did probably about a 3-month block or 4-month block of table time exclusive sometime in the last couple of years. It was great. Loved it. But there's things that are missing from that. And then I did like a block of a lot of the primary gym stuff that I was doing was like 3s and 10s. I talked about 3s and 10s forever. Did that for like a good year and a half. I've recently been on a program where I've been doing just statics. Probably been on a period of about 5 or 6 months where I'm just doing statics. I haven't been posting a lot of videos on it because I think it's really, really boring to watch, you know, because you're just holding. There's not a lot of excitement in it, but I think it's extremely effective, super safe, and maybe I'll probably talk about this more when I start to get out there and do seminars again. But and then much more, the bigger thing that I've really been doing the last little while is the pumpkin style training, which is really putting everything into one arm. And it's been super interesting. Now, what I've noticed has not just been on my right arm. It's also been on my left. My left arm, I've learned a lot from the period of relative inactivity on my left arm. So just to kind of recap so you guys understand what happened during this experiment and how I feel now. So after Wagner Bortolotto, which is September last year, it's basically 1 year. So this experiment has been running basically to varying degrees over the course of the last year. I stopped pushing my left hand. So what that means is I stopped in the gym doing anything progressive left-handed. From approximately September to December, I would do warm-up sets. And then the last few sets where I was actually pushing, my left would just be chilling out and my right hand would do all the work. I was still doing table time through that period. Then After Christmas, I started to stop doing warm-up sets, and I was only training my right arm. However, I was still arm wrestling on the table practice. COVID struck. There was about a 2-month period where I did no table time. I did only right arm gym training and absolutely nothing with my left. Nothing at all. Now, once table practice started again, my left was considerably weaker. Considerably. Now, it has been a few months now since I've been active on the table again in practice, and my gym training has continued with my right. I will say that my left arm has come up now to a very reasonable level. Very, very reasonable, especially for the amount of effort that I put into it. And that's with doing table time about 2 or 3 times a week. And to me, that's not work. That is absolutely just play. And that was a really interesting takeaway for me. The real difference between being really, really good and just like super elite, it's just a little bit of extra percentage, and that can be tweaked out in the gym or wherever, I think. So when I was in the military, the only reason I joined the Army was to fight. That's really the only reason I was there. I never really wanted to lead, or I never wanted to I never wanted to be in charge of anybody or have to do paperwork or anything like that. I just wanted to be one of the dudes. And I mean, not like I felt like basically all the dudes around me were in a better position to do it anyways. Anybody who's watching that used to work with me probably knows that. We're like, Devon, you weren't getting anywhere anyways. But there was a while there when there was talk of me having to go up in rank, and a lot of people, what they do in the military is they submit paperwork so that they have their rank frozen. And I was one of those people who had their rank frozen, so they would never have to leave the part that they really loved. Hello, little one. Hello there. How was school? Good. Yeah. Anyways, so I never wanted to leave the fight. I never wanted to. Wasn't why I got into it. And it's interesting now, I'm 45 years old. Loved arm wrestling because I like to be in the fight. That's why I got into it. That's why I loved it. I've learned a lot of things over the last year. Over the last few years, that don't necessarily have to do in a direct fashion with being right in the fight. I've always wanted to promote arm wrestling and promote things that I loved, because I see the value in them. And what I started to understand was something called minimum viable product. This was a real struggle of mine. This was a real hurdle of mine when trying to create armbet. Minimum viable product. And what the creators, what our team kept on telling me is we have to boil it down to what is the simplest thing we're trying to accomplish. What is the simplest thing we're trying to accomplish? And the more I thought about it and the more we went over it, the more I was stuck on community. It's community. It's community. It's community. That's what it all boils down to. And what I realize is that perhaps, you know, do I love to be in the fight? Yes, but why? Why is it? It's because of community. You know, it's because what's even greater than fighting is what you're fighting for. You're bringing people together. It's really what makes arm wrestling beautiful. And it's interesting to me now. It's important for me, maybe at this point, not that I have a memo or something written down where I'm always going to be a world level competitor. When you're a world level competitor, when you're chasing that very peak of the mountain, it's really hard to do anything else. It's really hard to have anything else in your life. You can't really accept too many responsibilities because you need to be focused. You need to have everything, all your energy in one place. And it's interesting to me now, if I relate that time in the military where I was just in the fight, and now, I feel like in arm wrestling, there's things that are taking me away a little bit from, just getting up every day and just training all day long and, trying to just make my wrist into steel and it's understand that it doesn't upset me anymore. And that's the thing that's interesting to me is, I've gotten to a place where I'm happy to do it. I'm happy to spend my energy, pushing community. And man, the gym is so boring sometimes too. It's so much work. And when I think about the pumpkin training, you can be really, really, really good at arm wrestling by just arm wrestling with your friends a couple times a week. That extra little bit, it's a lot of extra work. Anyways, I don't know what all this means. Basically, just do what you love, and I guess sometimes don't be scared of progressing. And leaving, not that you're leaving things behind, it's just that you're doing other things too. Anyways, that's a perfect apple. Have a great day, everybody.